Hello, this is Lisa LaRose here on Connect to Love on PRN-FM, and I am joined by Michael J. Russ. I want to say welcome, Michael. I know you are as excited for today's show as I am.
I'm always excited, yes, for Carol, yeah.
Exactly, and we're so blessed today to be joined by Carol Collins and the teachers for another segment in the Awakening series. For any of our audience members who may be new to Connect to Love and the Awakening series with Carol Collins, I would just want to share with you a little bit about Carol. Carol's personal awakening was both spontaneous and very profound. In 2018, she began a daily practice of silent meditation, and 9 months later, her non-physical team introduced themselves to her by using face spelling, cursive in the air to communicate. And it was really quite extensive. They talked to her about creation, about non-physical life, and gave her personal guidance on what they were hoping to accomplish with her. And then just 6 weeks later, they asked if she would allow them to speak out loud, and she's been channeling with them ever since. And I am just so delighted, Carol, and I want to welcome you back. I know you've been extra busy, and so many different things have been unfolding for you. So first, I want to just say welcome. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, and, this is February already, and it's just I call it my love month. It's, not everyone likes Valentine, and some people are suffering during this time. It's lack of having a Valentine. And so I just say it's love month, and it's a time of year that it needs more definition what a Valentine is, don't you think? What is Valentine? Yeah. It is be my Valentine. So what is Valentine? How about be my friend? Be my friend and love me for who I am and support me when I'm feeling low and know that I'll be there for you when you're feeling low as long as I'm not feeling low at the same time. And if we both are feeling low, then let's hold hands and find somebody who's not, who can uplift us both. And so Valentine to me is friendly in action.
That's true.
That's what I've been thinking about for about the last month, leading into February and the magazine and stuff like that. What kind of things was I hoping the teachers would bring forward with it? And also being respectful of those that are not looking forward to the love day.
Yeah, the celebration, so to speak, that doesn't really encompass everyone necessarily.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I would really look at it as self-love month, as well.
I was going to say the same thing, Michael.
Absolutely. But as I'm saying this, I hear this little whisper, and it says, "But also," I love when they do that. But also, be my Valentine. The part of us that has the capability to bring forward conversation from beyond. Be my Valentine. Subconscious mind, allow that non-physical teacher of yours to be your favorite person. Let them be your love being. Let them be your Valentine. And then intuition is heightened, and life gets better and better and better and better and better. So be my Valentine. Let your guide be that for you. Anybody. I like that one too.
That's beautiful. I agree wholeheartedly. It's such a powerful message, and we're just always so delighted, Carol and the teachers, to have you join us because each episode is just packed with so many nuances and so much great information. And I think the guides definitely get together and powwow. Michael did a channeling this morning all about love, and I think that there's so many nuances to it when we embrace the things that make us happy and really follow our passion and do little loving things even for ourselves. It's the small actions that really matter, and it's that attention to detail that make a big, big difference. And I love books, and I treat myself to books all the time. And one of the books, and just before the show, I thought, I'm going to open it up and see where the guides want me to go, because it's a book called You're Only Just Beginning, and they're just short little excerpts and all different things that are in that. And one of the things they had in there was what we learned from honeybees, which might sound sort of interesting, but what I learned from it, they offer a very profound metaphor for human purpose with collaboration and unfolding an appreciation for our unique gifts. And one of the things that I love that it basically said in a nutshell was that bees don't compare themselves to one another. They simply fulfill their purpose, whatever that is. A worker bee doesn't want to be a queen. It knows that it has a very important role in pollination and hive building and sustaining life. And that when we embrace our own uniqueness without any resistance, we become vessels for that source energy. And before the show, I was sharing with Carol, there's a lot of things that I've learned, Carol, and the teachers through the classes that I've attended. And there was a quote that really stuck with me, and I mentioned it. And Carol said, "I don't remember saying that." And I said, "No, it's definitely the teachers who said it." But I'd like to just share it and then just see where it unfolds, because it really sparked a fantastic conversation. And Michael said, "Come on, hurry up. We need to start talking about this." But this quote definitely spoke to me. And it said, "When you step into your natural state of allowing, you align with the infinite intelligence that knows exactly how to unfold your path." And it's that same intelligence that guides a bee to a flower. It's that same intelligence that may lead us down a path forward to follow our inner calling. So I'd like to invite you, Carol, or Carol and the teachers, to share a little bit about that infinite intelligence and how we know how to trust it and follow it.
The teachers to speak, and we like to introduce ourselves that way. And so thank you very much for identifying both of those quotes. They are teaching. Rumi would say, "It is my inner calling to be who I was born to be. And if my life unfolds in that direction, I will become that which was intended for me." And so that is truth. It is known to the aspects, and the aspects are the unconscious part of you. That is the soul within, the subconscious mind. And so the quote, it's teaching, it is guidance for the inner mind. And it is what we do 24 hours a day. We guide the unconscious mind into alignment. Now, what is alignment? There's so many things. There are mechanics to causing law of attraction to work for you. Law of attraction is how the unconscious mind draws energy to you and then manifests what becomes your life. But there are some things that every soul being wants to achieve. And those are intentions, masterful intentions. You work with these, you play with these, you project these, you refine and you refine and you refine again, and then you talk about them, and then you come to an understanding that these are your preference for that specific lifetime. And then you hand that list of wants, the desires, the wants, and the must-haves, and the do not allow these into my life. So you have things that are inbound and out of bound, and then you have things that are must-have, and you hand those over to your non-physical teacher. And that teacher is what the world population calls a guide. And that guide is guiding the unconscious mind to manifest who you wanted to become. And they do that unceasingly, daytime and nighttime, because the unconscious mind does not sleep. And so it is constant, vigilant, loving attention to help you unfold into the wholeness and the richness of who you wanted to be. But wanting to be is not identical person to person. Some are wanting to look sadness straight in the eye and then turn away from it as this is not the right thing for me to adopt as my norm. You will become sad. You will witness things that are tragic or feel tragic to you, or with people that you are very fond of, and therein lies tragic for you. Death of a loved one, well, it goes unknown to some, it goes known by others, it goes by known with sadness for some, and it goes all the way into grieving for those that it touches nearest. And so there are things that we guide you to and then guide you away from. And so let's just say, for instance, let's say, Michael, that you wanted to investigate in this physical plane curiosity, wonder, and perhaps some belittlement. You wanted to witness those. And then with positivity, you would align, the subconscious mind now, would align its manifesting with non-physical guidance. And that's what infinite intelligent guide being does. And so you would, every person does, you build in some things that you are wanting from the positive emotional sector, and you also choose a thing or two that you are wanting to learn how to resist. And how you do that is by living life. It is why we guide everyone, be happy and then, because when you are in your positive emotional moments, then the unconscious mind listens to that infinite being, that guide of yours. And so it is necessary to promote oneness throughout humanity. You know, let's just say sarcasm is alive and well in your world. And it does promote density of thoughts, density of emotions that run the gamut, but is also the culprit for tragic violence. And so many people are building in, with safeguards, of course, the inbound and outbound, and resilient factors. I want to be someone who does witness sarcasm, and I want to choose that is not who I will become. And so many people all over the planet, in this modern 2025 world, there are millions of people who have adopted that single intention. I want to witness, which means I may use it, I may receive it, I may watch it, I may overhear it, I may see it happening with my own eyes, or I may be told about it. And all of those cases are different levels of experiences. And so when you have that, we want you to not become angry that it exists, or forlorn that it was done to you, or guilt-ridden because it was you that activated it. We want you to simply say, that's not what I choose. I choose to promote peace. I choose to interact from the standpoint of friendly. And you both are correct. Friendly with myself first, and then with others. And it has to be friendly with yourself first so that you are bringing forth the truest positive emotions and in a dominant way. And so it's very interesting to talk about intentions. And it's interesting to explain to people, you adopt a little of this and a little of that, but there's always a reason. Because when you witness, when it becomes something, let's just say throughout your teens and 20s, you have found that there is sarcasm all around you, and it becomes an annoyance, and you don't want it. You push people away, and you push experiences away. We don't want you to push experiences away. We want you to not draw them to you in the first place. We want, when the unconscious mind rejects sarcasm, for instance, then it slowly but surely stops drawing experiences that include sarcasm. And that means going out to lunch and overhearing somebody using sarcasm, or turning on the television and lo and behold, there's an advertisement for yet another sarcastic sitcom. And so it is with joy that you adopt those kind of things. And then when you do, as a human being, you mentally and verbally reject. When the unconscious mind understands what you are wanting from your pattern of speech and your pattern of thinking, then it adopts the pattern of manifesting to no longer bring those to you. Now, imagine this, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 10 by 10, 1,000 by 1,000. The unconscious mind starts rejecting the manifestation of sarcasm. Now, that would, in fact, bring violence down, 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 down. And that is what non-physical beings everywhere are doing. You can promote peace, and you can talk about peace, and you can be a living, walking, motion-activated person who wants peace. But until the unconscious mind adopts peace as its preference for manifesting, then you won't have it as a global population.
Amazing. It brings to mind the ripple effect, that every action, no matter how small, has a ripple effect. And I am so grateful that you express that there's different levels of experience because I think that as humans, we don't quite understand that my perception of perhaps a sitcom may be different than the way that you receive it and the way that we store it in that unconscious mind. So are there ways that we can sort of step back and say, this is not what I choose? Are there ways that we can catch ourselves, or, is that done through quiet meditation or through, I guess, journaling, whatever ideas that you might have that we could start being more intentional in our choices of what we're taking in and pushing out of our unconscious mind?
There are a great many ways, and we want you to adopt friendly in your use of them. And so if you're journaling, we want you to journal with friendly, not journal about your day and let it be a artifact of getting your thoughts down on paper, because putting anger down on paper, the paper now has the vibration of the emotion that you put into it. And so you might get it off your mind. It might go down on paper, and then you think of it less, and that's true. But we would like it better if you used friendly and said, this, I am going to write my thoughts down in all of their vulgarity, and then I am going to crumple it into a ball and drop it in the trash can. Because you don't keep things in the trash can that you are wanting to savor. You don't. What you put in the trash can, you are wanting and willing to let go of. And so it is symbolic. So symbolic, in fact, that as you are dropping it into the trash can, the unconscious mind says, I too will manifest less of those things that were written down. And so the friendliness is, not slamming the notebook closed, not sharing with everyone what you wrote down, but doing it on purpose, and be happy that you are doing it, because otherwise you're just invigorating anger or whatever the emotion is. And so when you are writing those thoughts, they will be tempered if you are pushing happy onto the surface. But that's good. Be happy. Use pride and use confidence so that you know what you're doing. And then when you have run out of those angry thoughts and those experiences seem to just drain out of you, then simply stand up, crumple it up into a ball just like you would if it was something that you did not care about and you do not care about those experiences. And then drop it in the trash can and walk away from it. But truly walk away from it. That means don't tell everybody what you just did, because then you're holding on to it.
Yeah.
And so friendly is as friendly does. Friendly is as friendly speaks. Friendly is as friendly engages. And so, adopting a small practice, there are so many practices, but that's one that so many enjoy. Journaling is good. And so let it be a notebook or loose sheets of paper, because sometimes these beautiful journals, you are not wanting to rip a page out because it feels like you have harmed the journal. You've harmed the beauty and delight. And so let it be a notebook where you are okay with pulling those pages out, or loose sheets of paper, because then there's no harm and no regret. And that's what we want. There are so many ways. But we want you to have an understanding that you, the human being, are the motion-activated evidence of what the unconscious mind is using. All right? And so what does it do? It gathers emotional energy and thought energy. And what it gathers is based on the emotion that you are using, but you don't always know what you're using, because you could be very pleasantly, in this snowy week that you have in some parts of the country, you have days off of work, you've got cozy situations, and you throw your PJs on, and you make a nice cup of hot cocoa or a glass of wine, whatever your favorite is, and then you wrap yourself in a blanket, maybe a little popcorn, something delightful, and then you turn on a movie. And the movie has anger, fear, sadness, but also confidence, and voila, the hero wins the day. But what was in that 90 minutes? A lot of things. And so what you use is also what you witness. And when you watch television, You are witnessing. Now, is it true fear? Well, there is some. There is some. Is it true anger? There is some. Those stuntmen are brave. But there's also some fear. And there's also, set design, this didn't go right, that didn't go right. And so there is behind the scenes, in a 90-minute movie, you have a plethora of emotions that you can see from the words and the actions of the actors. And then you have everything that was also sandwiched in between from the producer and the director and the sighting designer and the lighting designer and all those people that are, rushed to work, grieving, dealing with divorce, ate the wrong thing for lunch and they're not feeling too well. And all of those things, day by day by day, as that film is being captured, the emotions of everyone on the set is embedded in the movie. And so the unconscious mind is witnessing all of it, even though you might be nice and cozy and happy, curled up perfectly happy, and then watching a movie. And so your personal use, your personal manifested emotion does not match the movie, but the unconscious mind is witnessing all of it and then making a decision. What do I draw to me for future use? And so can you watch a violent movie and have the unconscious mind reject all of the violence? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And by, there will be less violent movies being made. But who does that? It has to be someone who really, 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 really wants it or destines it for themselves. And so you don't know what the unconscious mind is drawing to you. It might see all of the violence and reject it, but it might lean towards the one who's lonely. Now, lonely is not physical violence, but it is violent to oneself. And so there is positive emotion and negative emotion. What will it lean into? You don't know. And there's no way for you to know. You certainly could do fun things like get a pendulum wheel and just do that. And you could do a pendulum wheel ahead of time and say, these are the emotions that I like best, and fill the wheel with all positivity. Anything else is off the table. And then sit and watch your movie. And because it's right after the fact, the unconscious mind will adopt it in that one instant, okay? And so there are things that you can do, but you don't know what the unconscious mind is drawing to you in any situation, even if you are using happy, 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 happy. Well, were you happy all day? Were you happy yesterday? Were you happy the week before? And that's about the span of time where it makes its decision. And so caution is warranted here in the physical plane. Be happy and then witness happy, be happy, engage with happy, and then also tell yourself, I like happy. I like using happy, and I like receiving happy. And that's an easy one that anyone can do. When we would say, do that one once a day. It's not overtaxing. And then the mind will create a habit. It'll take a while. It will take a while. But if you do it every day, well, then it takes the time that it takes, person by person by person. But it will happen.
Wow. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. No, it's a beautiful exercise. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Michael, did you have something that you wanted to ask?
Well, let's see. In terms of what the unconscious mind is gathering, one of our greatest challenges right now in this world is that we live now in an information-centric society. And you've kind of mentioned this exercise of I like happy and I like receiving happy, and the concept that the idea that, or the fact actually, that when we're watching something, we're watching everything that was put into it emotionally. Even the things that every member of the cast and crew is put in. That, to me, that fascinates me. Although it kind of takes that all to a whole new level. What other things can people do to, I guess, curate their life so that their subconscious is gathering more happy, more friendly, more love?
We would be remiss if we did not say silent meditation is the way. It is the way. It is the way. Silent meditation.
Okay.
But silent meditation, that is also misunderstood. It is not quiet thinking, contemplation, me time. Silent meditation is daily practice of as long as you can do it, but it is on purpose asking the unconscious mind to remove thought and visual thought. So obviously you sit in a quiet place at a quiet time of day, in a comfortable position, sitting up, and then gently close your eyes, and then let the minutes tick by. And as a thought appears to you on the screen right in front of the face, as happens always when your eyes are closed, and the screen will produce a voice. It'll produce your voice, your thinking voice, which means you are thinking. It'll produce an image. It'll produce swirling of colors. It'll produce a memory. And what you do is you simply gently flex the foot, very gently. It is a very direct yet nonverbal way of telling the unconscious mind, not right now, not right now. This is silent me time, not thinking time by myself. And so that's number one, because in that moment, infinite intelligent guide being that is in charge of each of your lives causes the unconscious mind to adopt gentleness. And gentle is positive emotion as the preference. And so that's always there. But let's add a real situation. So, Lisa, dear, you said that you love books, you love books, you love books, and you love buying books, and you love passionately allowing yourself to be guided. Now, sometimes you are allowing yourself to be guided, and sometimes law of attraction is guiding you. But what can you do? Because the book itself, now who's involved in bookmaking? The author, obviously, illustrator, if there is one. There is the editor, the publisher, any friends and family that have read the draft, whoever has created the cover design or has come up with the title. And so there are people that have infused thought about your book, all right? And those are the ones to be concerned with. There certainly is the broader sense of all those that have read the book, but don't worry about that one. That one is a little too obscure for people to really worry about. And so you have this book, and it was manufactured by many hands. The emotion that they were experiencing while they were working on the book are infused into creation of the book. Not in the manufacturing process, but in the creation of the book. It is weaved into the ethers as the book is coming together. And so you have emotions of, oh my goodness, I don't know if I phrased that correctly. What is that? Indecision, confusion, remorse, worry, perhaps. You've got someone who might have been rushed on time and skipped through some pages and they feel guilt. You do have that embedded in the book. And it's with every single book, every single book, every single book. We would say, when you feel guided to a book, then wait 24 hours before you open it. Don't even flip the pages. Look at the cover. Is this something I feel drawn to? If you feel drawn to it, you don't have to open it up and read the table of contents or any of those kind of things. If you feel drawn, then you know it's for you. Take it off the shelf, go buy it, and then put it somewhere delightful. Some people like to create a little altar. We don't think that's necessary. But if you like it, it's all right. Some people like to put things in the sunshine or the moonlight. That, too, is not necessary. But if you like it, you can. We would say put it in a place where you will not see it. And that's the best place. So that means put it in the bag when you purchase it and leave it in the bag and perhaps leave it in your car. Don't think about it so that the unconscious mind doesn't go sneak a peek because it can read the entire book without you even opening the front cover. It can, and it will. And so we would say, how can you cause the unconscious mind to adopt friendly in what it draws to you? You have a great many things in the creation of that book. What do you want? All the positive emotions, confidence, joy, happy, all those things that are positive in nature. And so in that 24-hour period where you are not looking at the book, don't set it on your coffee table, don't put it on your kitchen counter because you'll see it. And if you're interested in it, your interest rises. Well, you might open the cover and say, oh, I forgot about the 24-hour period. But the unconscious mind will automatically take a sneak peek. And so we would say, hide it from yourself for a day. And in that time, you have to have an understanding of why you're doing it. You don't just hide it for a day until you rest your senses, and then you will magically draw only positive. It's not the way it works. But when you purchase it, it means this is important to me. I would like to read it. And then secondary to that, but I would also like to unconsciously like it as well, which means only, although the words are the words and the story is the story, I want to draw only the positive emotions from those that had a hand in crafting the book. And so in that 24-hour period, non-physical beings that do that work heal the book. And what does that mean? We take the emotions that were embedded into the creation of it, and we heal the book. Now, here's the fun thing. Let's say that you're in a book club. Well, then select the book. Don't tell anyone what it is. Let the book, purchase it, and let the book sit, as we just described, and then we heal the creation of the book, not just the individual book that you purchase. We heal the book, and then the book is free from harm. We take all the negative emotion, and we can do it in a 24-hour period. And so why hide it? Well, because you purchased it, and you personally are interested in it. And so that's helping the unconscious mind to adopt trust, but also reverence that non-physical beings that are doing that work can do it, will do it, and then it will be vibrationally accurate. The words might not be existential truth, might not be, pure peacefulness. It could be a love story, and love stories run the gamut. But it will be vibrationally accurate because the negative emotion that was embedded into the creation of it will be removed. 24 hours is all it takes. Any size of the book. And so do that. But it's not just books. You want to watch a television show, one episode at a time. Identify what you want to watch. Write it on a piece of paper. Tuck the piece of paper in a drawer. Forget about it. And when you do that, tell yourself, remind yourself, because when you remind yourself, you're reminding the unconscious mind. My guide and any others that are doing that work are going to take that episode and heal the emotion in it. And so there you have it. And so that works. Now, you have replay and replay and replay and replay, and you have people that watched it before you. And so you always have people that have read the book or watched the movie ahead of time, and they have their own opinion because they have absorbed the emotions from it as well as the storyline. And so one fell swoop does not cure all, but it will cure your observance of it because your unconscious mind will learn to resist temptation to take a sneak peek. It can watch a movie. If it knows a movie is coming out, it can watch it before it's released. It'll read the book before you even get all the way up to the cash register to read it. 500-page book, it takes it about 4 seconds, and it is already absorbed. It is absorption in warp speed. And so, do yourself a favor and be friendly to yourself first. Purchase and then wait. Have patience, human population. Just add 1 day of patience, and we can heal this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And then, make your decisions that way. Slow down, not your purchase, but your use of your purchase. And watch how your objects last longer. You've got this beautiful holiday that's coming up. Make your evening plans, your day plans, your celebration plans, and then write it on a piece of paper and tuck it in a drawer. And then know in that moment that your table will be free from the negative emotion that is hovering over it. And so it's not just objects, but it's locations. Powerful thing to do. You've got so many people that are in this mode of divorce or divorcing or blended families, and then you have get-togethers of those that were previously together, and they have memory of why they are no longer together. It is nice to be able to say, I have a method for making sure that the environment that we will all cohabitate in will be free from negative emotion, at least for that day, because you asked it of non-physical beings. When you ask it of non-physical beings, it's not that we don't do it until you ask, but your personal unconscious mind won't observe the changes that we make unless you have made a human conscious decision to want it. And then the unconscious mind says, oh, me too, me too, me too, me too. And then it complies. Lovely conversation. Thank you for the question.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful answer. Absolutely. Not something that I would have actually thought about, that everything that would have gone into making it. I mean, I've been on movie sets and television sets, and I've seen the various emotions of the people who are there, the cast, the crew, the other staff, etc. And I never would have thought for a moment until now that the making of that movie involves everyone's feelings and emotions, whatever they brought into it. And imagine, obviously this is something you can do every morning if you have to go to an office. Am I right?
Absolutely.
How would that work the exact same way? You'd write down that you were going to work, and you'd put it in a drawer and do this every day because you're going to this office, which has this conglomeration of people with different emotions and feelings, fears, worries, doubts, joy, happiness, love, all these different things, and you want to cleanse your cubicle or your office or the environment that you're going to inhabit that day, that next day.
We say that you want to have it cleansed. One of the things that the world population is having some difficulty with is reversing the belief that they do the cleansing, that they do the healing. And so it's minor, but it's not trivial, that you would like it cleansed. And so do you say the whole building? You sure can. Mm-hmm. In those instances, we would say take a photograph of the building and put it in a drawer and write on the back of it if you like, or just make the intention. It is this building, unconscious mind of me, it is this building that I want free from negative emotion so that I can be there and have ease in drawing positive emotion to me. Now, can we free it completely? No, we cannot. Because there are people that are thinking about the building. There are people who are moving about in the building. And there are computers in the building connected to the internet.
Absolutely.
And so, however, when you train your unconscious mind when we say you train your unconscious mind, what you are doing is providing influence. Your habit of thought is primary influence to the unconscious mind of you. It's influence. And then you've got that superpower guide with infinite awareness of past, present, and future. They can see the wavelengths of emotion and of thought. They see it. It's a different conversation, but our eyes are not human eyes. We see the wavelength. We can see it as a wavelength, or we can see it in action. It's just what the mind of non-physical beings can do. And so rest assured, they have awareness of what your unconscious mind will lean into. And so there is a partnership. The human being says, I want this building, unconscious mind of me, I want this building to be a peaceful place for me. And then at the same time, hey, non-physical guide and any others that do that work, thank you for doing that thing that you do, because that's what we do. And so it becomes cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner for the unconscious mind of you, and then over time for the unconscious mind of others. And so then you have this internet, and the internet is the entire internet, and you've got the world's population pumping thought and emotion into it. And so we would like everyone to adopt turning the computers off. And we mean in shutdown mode. Turn it off. And then just have awareness that you are doing it not to save your electric bill or to save the monitor from burning out. You are turning it off so that the monitor and the other components of your computer, the device that you have, so that specific monitor and components are not drawing the vibration of active internet. And so what does it have? When you turn it off, the components, the keyboard, the mouse, the wire to the mouse, the screen, the components that allow the monitor to sit on the desk, whatever else you have that's connected to it. It has the emotions and the content absorbed into, let's just say, the molecules or the atoms, into the molecular structure. The emotions are absorbed. And so why does your monitor burn out? Well, because you've got negative emotion that is being pumped into it. And so when you turn your computers off, as an example, phones are another device, when you turn it off in your overnight hours, then we do as much cleansing as we can get done. And there's a powerful amount that are pumped into. So is it the websites that you're looking at? No, because your World Wide Web is all of it, compartmentalized into websites, but it's all of it. It's all of it. And so it's all there because it's all available. And what about the sites that you have to pay for? It's all on the internet. It's all in the wire, so to speak. And so it's all in the creation of it. It's all there for consumption. And so the inner mind will go there. And let's just say that you really, really, really love books. And if you love books, and you love curating books, and you love owning them, you love designing them, you love reading them, you like talking about them in libraries or bookstores are some of your favorite things to do when you have the time for it. Well, your mind might seek out bookstores on the internet when you're asleep because it doesn't sleep. It continues doing the favorite activity. And so it's a wonderful thing to just say, wow, that's true. Emotions are everywhere, but they are everywhere. And so that is a little daunting, but you don't have to bless yourself. You don't have to wear a special crystal or stone carried in your pocket as warding off evil. You're not warding off evil. Yeah. There is no evil. It's just positive and negative. And you do have both for just cause. And so it is friendly to me and to others, because when you absorb more and more and more positive emotion, then your personal vibration emanates more of it. And then it is like a domino effect. 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 10 by 10, 1,000 by 1,000. People change over time. They do change over time.
Wow, it's really incredible, and it illustrates so powerfully the energetic momentum that we are creating. And I just want to mention for perhaps any of our audience members that may not be familiar with Carol Collins and the teachers, the website is channelingtheteachers.com. And on that website, you will find so much information, not only about the magazine and the channelings and the workshops, but you do a weekly class. And I love the teachers have refined it, and it's enlightened the essential material. And on the website, it's about captivating the inner mind, which I'm guessing, again, is that of unconsciousness, and how to adopt that positivity and the understanding and the belief that this physical life is an extension of non-physical life. And I have been blessed to be part of those classes, and it really is transformational, and to be able to be there and to receive the teachings similar to what we're getting. Such an amazing gift from both of you today. Thank you so much. And I'd love to, if you don't mind, just if you could share a little bit of the guidance, because I know you have an upcoming, or knowing you actually have one on February 13th, and then you also have some other workshops planned for March that if any of our audience are interested in attending, maybe a little bit about what they could expect.
Absolutely. So there are 3 workshops that are held every month. Each of them are unique every month. I reuse the title. So there is Enlightened, which is a 4-part workshop. It's a 90-minute, once a week segment, and it flows through each of the 4 pillars of the essential material. Week 1 is Pillar 1, Week 2 is Pillar 2, and Pillar 3 and Pillar 4. And so it's a total of 6 hours of channeled teaching, and then questions are always part of each of the weekly segments. There's also the Hour Knowing, conversations with the teachers, and that's pure Q&A. I like to say it supplements reading, because there are so many questions that people have, not just about existential life and conscious reality and how to be a better manifester, but some people just want to know, I've got these 3 job offers and I really don't know which one to take. My wife is considering picking up a second job. Do we really need that? Is that the best for our family? There's so many different life situational things. And so the Hour Knowing is whatever is important to you, and the teachers go through as many questions as they can, but they always weave their answers in a way that there is some nugget of help for something. For everybody gets something.
Everybody.
If you come with 10 questions, at least one question is going to have some attention on it. But only so many people can ask the questions out loud in a 2-hour period. But that's every month. Then there is a healing workshop, and the teachers do physical healing, emotional healing. There's evidence in it in the moment. There's just some amazing things that have happened. And that's a 4-hour workshop, one Saturday a month. So Enlightened is a 4-part Monday evening for 90 minutes once a week. Our Knowing is one Thursday a month for 2 hours in the evening. And then Resonance is a 4-hour workshop on a Saturday afternoon once a month. And those are, so I have those every month. It's always unique teaching, and obviously the questions are always different. And then here's the fun thing. Well, there's the magazine. And I would say, if you're just stepping into this kind of thing, and maybe price is an issue or time commitment is an issue, I highly encourage anybody to subscribe to the Wellness Magazine. It's called Synergistic Wellness. It is channeled guidance cover to cover. It is every, I say article, and they say it's more like an essay, but every teaching moment within the monthly magazine is video recorded as channeled and then transcribed and put in there. So there is that. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it is my delight to present that every single month. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then there's also Resonance Live. Resonance Live is an in-person healing, teaching, and healing workshop. And so the big one that I have planned and giving everyone plenty of notice is Antarctica. It's a 14-night cruise headed from Buenos Aires, Argentina, down to the Antarctic Peninsula and then back. And it is an amazing, beautifully appointed ship. It is nightly entertainment, beautiful accommodations, generous activities, and they go so slow. They go down to just a very slow motion movement of the ship once we're down within the Arctic Circle or Antarctic Circle, and we just float by whale after whale after whale, colonies of penguins, and it's just so delightful. And there's just a gentleness about everybody on each of those cruises. So that is, the registration is open. I'm taking registration now, and there will be attunement, private sessions throughout the cruise, which adds to everyone's manifesting ability. So Enlightened, Our Knowing, and Resonance, they are workshops that I hold every single month. They're different every month, but the content is different, but they're regularly scheduled. And then the 14-night cruise, it's a powerful place to go, and workshop is 12 hours with the teachers, plus private attunement, if you want to engage in that. The Wellness Magazine, that one's an easy one, $10 a month, and it's cover to cover. It's delightful. I have to say that's one of my favorite things to create every month with the teachers.
Wow. Thank you so much. It reminds me, because and I know that Michael does too, that when we get together, he writes things in a little notebook, and so do I, because there's just so many things. And one of the things that you said, Carol, was that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, but it requires action on your part. And I think that joining either one of the workshops or subscribing to the magazine is one of those actions that can open new doorways that will help the universe conspire to bring you even greater things. And so thank you. Thank you for making that all possible.
It's my pleasure. And I just have to say, it is February, and it is Love Month, which is pervasive in the world. Everyone is thinking, what do I buy? What do I buy? What do I buy? What do I buy? And so maybe it's not about buying. Maybe it's just about thinking about buying and thinking about, who am I going to buy for? And sometimes it is good. Buy for yourself. Yeah. And let that gift just create an opportunity for meeting people and engaging with people, and whatever that may be. It might be a spa day. It might be treating yourself out for tea and a crumpet. Whatever it is, I love crumpets. Whatever it is, take yourself out in public that day, because there are so many happy people. And there are some that are unhappy that day, but a majority of the world is at least happier, but because there's so many people feeling love, that is a powerful, on-the-surface emotion. And so if you're trying to draw new relationship or even a new best friend to you, be outside and be among people. Don't hide away, because the unconscious mind says, oh, it's Valentine's Day, and, well, I'm not going outside today, so I guess I don't want love in my life. And so go outside and be around people, because then the mind says, oh, there's a lot of love, and it's Valentine's Day. I'm not hiding away. I'm not shying away from, even though it's Valentine's, and I don't have a Valentine. I'm not shying away from the energy, and it's always about the emotional energy. So just a little tidbit of encouragement. And, yes, the Hour Knowing is tomorrow night. If anyone wants to join, registration is open until about 30 minutes before showtime. So it's 7 p.m. East Coast time, 2-hour event. And I'd love to have any and all of you there and your questions. And the replays are always part of it. I guess I should probably say that too. So there's a great many people that like to listen, 2 and 3 times to make sure that they've got all their notes straight. So.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, it helps to feed the grid and feed the unconscious. I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful. Thank you so much I love these monthly shows with you guys. And to all the listeners, you guys are so friendly in your compliments on Connect to Love and what you guys are bringing forth and putting out there, because it, too, is on the Internet, which is great. So there is love on the Internet as well. And so, more of that.
Well, we appreciate you. I know there's always something that I'm blown away by that I learn that is completely new, and I really thank the teachers today for the tools that people can use right here, right now, with regard to mitigating the negative energies that are out there. That's priceless. What they shared with us today is priceless to me, and I'm sure many other people, because I'm always learning something that's augmenting what I already know, even if it's come from you before. There's always something new and different. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the information is incredible, and so grateful for the encouragement for everybody to embrace self-love and nurture your passion and, take action no matter how small, because you do matter. And I think that that's one of the things that has been so helpful with all of these get-togethers with you, Carol, and the teachers, and with you, Michael, because I think that we're all looking to step into the fullness of who we're meant to be. And when we do so, not only we transform our own life, but we also transform the world. And I'm so grateful for all the nuances about the book. I actually had a big smile on my face because when I bought that particular book, I bought 2 copies, one as a gift and one as a gift to myself, and I forgot it. I left this actual copy in a bag, and when I was cleaning, during spring cleaning, I was like, oh my goodness, what's in this bag? And it was a book. So I guess my guys are helping me do exactly that, leaving it for a little bit later to pick it up. And today was the perfect day.
Or it was law of attraction. Or it was law of attraction, and you don't know which one. And so, it's funny. Recently, they have been saying the very, very best thing to do is to say it was either law of attraction or from my guide. If you want to say intuition, that it means the same thing. It was either law of attraction or I was guided to it, and I hope that I was guided to it, because that says even if it was positive law of attraction, that's good, but being guided is even better. And so it's just a fun thing.
Wow.
Thank you. That's a great clarification. And very practical. That's what I love about you. It's always very, the information you provide is very practical. And that's what our audience needs to know, that it's always the teachers. They're into making sure that it's practical and usable and applicable, like right now.
It's funny that you say that, Michael, because I mean with all sincerity, within the first week of my ability surfacing to this level, I said to them, are you going to be teaching law of attraction, manifesting kind of things? Because if you do, I'm hoping, and I think I corrected myself, I'm really hoping that you bring some practical skills, things that people can really use, not these things that are really hard to imagine or to figure out, just very purposeful, practical skills that are useful for mainstream population. That's really, really, really what I want. And they said, well, that's good because that is, they call them the games, the activities. And, one of these days, hopefully there'll be a book that incorporates them all and gives a little bit of background on what its use is and some examples of how to use it. But, it is true. They're very practical, and they're not time-consuming, and they're not, life. They don't create a burden on your time during the day, and life is life, and it's good to incorporate some self-care kind of things. But if you overdo it, you might accidentally tell your mind that you think that you're a wreck, and that's not really what you're trying to do. You're just trying to infuse, a little more positivity and just engage in those healthy activities. But if you overdo it, you can accidentally tell the mind that you think that you're needing help. And so just do it, whatever you choose to do it with friendly, do it with happy, for as long as you're happy. And if that means that, an activity gets cut short because something comes along, well, then happily shift to the next activity. It's really, it's almost like a game. How long can you stay happy? How long can you stay happy? I think I might do that tomorrow. How long can I stay happy? And
wow.
How long can you stay happy?
All day.
Exactly.
All day, because I'm going to forecast now.
Say you can.
Well, here we are. Actually, I'll do it on Friday because I'm going to give myself that 24-hour period and then some. And so it is like that, though. It's not a book, but it's a day, and I want the negativity. And so where I move about, whether I'm home or in the car or going here to there, they know where I'm going to be. They know exactly where I'm going to be. They know what my decisions are going to be. But with the asking, they can pave the way and keep more positivity in front of me, which makes it easier for the unconscious mind. And then I manifest more happy, or at least have no observance of when I'm not being happy or when somebody else isn't. So I think I might do that on Friday and give my unconscious mind that 24 hours to acclimate to what they're doing. And that gives me really happy, fun thoughts on applying it in a different way. And that's what happens, though, isn't it? You get some kind of useful activity, and then, I really like that. I think I want to apply it to this. And so I think I'm going to apply it to Love Day and use it to just pave the way instead of an object.
That's beautiful.
And
I will play the game too. And Michael, I'm going to invite you to play the game too. I would love, Carol and the teachers, for you to join us again next month because it just is. And maybe we can report on exactly what we find on 24 hours of playing that game. And I know I'm super happy. My heart is smiling already, so I'm happy. I might start a day early.
I like it. I'm gonna get a little cute notebook or some kind of something to keep my notes on, and then throughout the day I'm just gonna say, this was good, this was good, this went well, this was fun, 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 and and then it will be fun to hear what the teachers have to say about what does that do if it's obviously 24 hours you're asleep for some of it. So let's just say 10, 12, 14 hours that you're awake, and for the amount of that time that you keep conscious record of, this is good, that was fun, that was a happy conversation. It's good. And if you do it for that many hours in a row, how far does that carry forward? What does that do? Or, in general and maybe specific to each of us, get a little, kind of a checkup on how that affected our manifesting after that day. That'll be fun.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I am so grateful for you joining us today and making the time. I'm just so joyful and happy. Cheers to happy.
Anytime. These monthly things are, I look forward to them every single month. I hope you guys really, really, really feel that joy from me. It's definitely one of the things that I look forward to every month.
I do too. Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you, Michael, and thank you to our audience for joining us. Until next time, we look forward to you having joined us again on Connect to Love here on PRN-FM. And again, if you want to tune in, please go to channelingtheteachers.com because there is so much to discover. And thank you both. Until next time.